What's up guys, my name is Elle and welcome to or back to the Coffee Shop Project. Today we're building on the espresso catering and entrepreneurialism Q&A from Saturday with Mark Crawford with a Q&A focused on getting started in roasting. If you haven't seen the first video, it's gonna pop up in the iCard here. Check that out, subscribe down below, and let's get into it. So then, how did you get into the art of roasting? Is it more of a passion project, or did you want to sort of have your own beans for your company?
Another really good question. So back to Joe Monahan from Marzocco, and we started a small drive-through concept in Oregon called real-time coffee roasting, and what we had these 1 pound Sana Fresco roasters. They were on each drive-through, so we actually roasted real time on the drive-throughs.
That's so cool.
And so we kind of learned, this is before you could learn everything and get a PhD on the internet like you can now. But we learned, and we had some really good suppliers for green beans, and they showed us some tips and tricks, and we started doing really what we thought was really good coffee. And then I have a friend in Brazil that is a second generation manufacturer of roasting machines, and he wanted us to have one of his larger machines. So we basically we could do about 800 pounds a day right now, but we use probably a tiny 2% of that.
What would be so I played around with it. This is completely novice, but I bought one of those popcorn poppers. I bought this book, How to Make Coffee. Lainey Kingston wrote it. I've been loving it. And I started with that, and I don't know, I've looked into getting one of those tiny little home roasters, nothing giant, but they're on Bodie Leaf Company's website. What are your thoughts on those, and any advice to me as I start playing around with it in my kitchen?
Yeah, there's a couple that really work just perfectly great, and it's an awful lot of fun to go, wow, look what I did, and it tastes good, and so there's not really as much control. You can't really hit a roasting curve where the kinds of things we try to do with a more sophisticated roaster, where we're really controlling the development of the soluble aromatics that are in the coffee with the temperature over time. But no, I just say do it and have fun with it. And what is it? Shrub or what was it? Where did you get your green coffee?
Bodie Leaf Company. It's in California.
Oh yeah, Bodie Leaf. Yeah, so Bodie Leaf is one, and they actually, I believe they sell, the little home roasters too.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, they're so cool. They're $80. It's on the top of my Christmas list. I'm hoping to get into that a little bit more.
Yeah, and then kind of the next one you can get is these. I'm a real big fan of these Sana Frescos, which are between $3,000 and $4,000, and you actually can control the slope, the heat slope on those, and and then you just go from there.
What does the slope mean? Is that regard what pop it gets to as you're roasting it in the oven? That's what I was doing too. Is that what it means, or is it something completely different if you're actually using a machine that's legit?
Yeah. So what it is you are. Let's see if I can do this here. Okay, so you are controlling. This would be the temperature here. So degrees Fahrenheit, and this is time. So what you're doing is in this kind of environment, if you have a drum roaster, you start with a very high temperature. The coffee drops in there, and then it ramps up and finishes at a certain temperature. So from the drop right here. And this the temperature is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and you find you get an entirely different flavor of the coffee. It goes if it goes like that, or if it goes like that. So and of course it highly depends where you pull it out. Every 15 seconds you're going to get more development and a different flavor of the coffee. But this temperature over time curve really determines the flavors that you get out of the coffee.
Okay, that's all. It's so cool just watching it, the science of it and playing around with it. It's been my favorite part of this year. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Coffee Shop Project, and special thanks to Mark for being here. If you want to check out his socials, they're going to pop up on the screen here, and as always, everything is linked down below, along with some of my favorite picks for beginning roasting equipment. And speaking of roasting, on Saturday, we're going to be doing that and mixing our own blend of coffee. So subscribe down below, and I will see you guys there. Bye!